The Austrian Vice-Chancellor Hans-Christian Strache stepped down from office, and the country is awaiting re-election of it. An undercover video emerged that showed him being pranked by a supposed Russian oligarch who offers some donations for his party and for the campaign. What the video does reveal is that Hans-Christian Strache is indeed highly corruptible, and it is good that he stepped down, at least for some time, and does something else so that the Conservatives in general can have a clean new start. However, everybody seems to stop cooperating with the party FPÖ right now, and we will see how bad the impact is in the long run. Anyway, the reactions to the video are partly hypocritical, and so I will go with you through some video footage and the points of criticism step by step, and talk about what is exclusively the problem of Mr. Strache and how bad corruption in Austria actually is. The video is published by was published by two German, not Austrian, German news sites. One is the website of Süddeutsche and the other is the website of Spiegel. They both have not worked together before, as far as I'm aware of. I know that Süddeutsche is a regular collaborator of the German public broadcasting agency ARD, and more specifically its sections NDR and WDR. It is unusual that Spiegel is teaming up because they claim to be a free market enterprise. On the other hand, that's also what Süddeutsche claims, despite their open collaboration. So, as I mentioned, one point of criticism is the donations. There is this entire left-wing view that money should stay out of politics, corporations should not be involved, and so on and so on. That's why we have campaign laws, and full disclosure, I am against all of them, so I don't even bother to read up the details of Austrian campaign finance laws. I believe that all organizations in the society have their interests, and some work more or some align more with one party than with the other. That is always the case. Trade unionists will always advance the talking points of the Labour Party or Social Democrats or something of that order. The NGOs, Greenpeace, WWF, and so on will always advance the talking points of the Green Party, and of course they all shell out more money in times of elections. And after we have seen, the entirety of Hollywood plus the news media in America campaigning for Hillary Clinton, plus the Young Turks, I have no problems with the suggestions. The one suggestion that Strache makes in the beginning, and you will see he names a number of people who all deny their involvement, who supposedly have made donations. It is unclear whether directly or indirectly through NGOs and other entities of that order. So have a look.
Wenn es sowas so gibt, sozusagen gibt es Länder für die Wahl jetzt, für die Wahlkampf. Es gibt ein paar sehr Vermögende, die zahlen zwischen 500.000 und 1,5 bis 2 Millionen. Das ist jetzt die Wahl. Die zahlen hinter die Partei so ein Okay, Beispiel. Du musst
So here now you have the different organizations that have already given donations, and they all, as I've already mentioned, say that they have not given any money to the FPÖ. What I find troubling about this is actually that they all deny it. There is nothing immoral about getting involved in politics, yeah, also for organizations. Even if you have a business, you can even you are allowed to be an evil capitalist and make money and also have a political opinion. I have absolutely no problem with that. And yes, they all deny having given money to the FPÖ.
Die Spender, die als in der Regel Idealisten. Die wollen an diese Steuersenkung eine große Gewerbe die wollen Geld aus nur die Karte und so.
What is more worrisome is that Mr. Strache suggests to buy a big newspaper, the Krone. There is a lot of hypocrisy involved in this. I will first show you the video footage, and then I will talk about why owning one newspaper is not it's not a big deal if you see what everybody else does. So here is the footage. So of course, the way he wants to play this will be different, and I will show that to you in a second piece. But essentially, parties holding newspapers isn't exactly new. It is something unusual in America, but in Germany, actually, the majority, I would say, the majority of regional newspapers are owned by one single party, and that is the Social Democrats. So for the German-speaking media to be upset about the suggestion that one single newspaper in the market of publications lending the voice exclusively to one party is a bit hypocritical. Yet, of course, I would not want any newspaper that claims to be independent to be a mouthpiece of any party. So, of course, I don't support this at all. But it is really nothing compared to the billions and billions of euros that the Social Democrats are paying for newspapers. Now, Mr. Strache controls or suggests to control the newspaper in a different way than the Social Democrats do, and this is probably because he is completely drunk. The Social Democrats hold always about 30 or 40% of a newspaper, and this does not sound much. It isn't a controlling ownership of all these newspapers. But if you think of being in charge of a shareholding company, and you rely on the assembly to make crucial decisions in your favor from time to time, 30 or 40% puts a lot of pressure. You want to please these people, and that is already enough to influence how editors behave, who they hire, who they fire, what stories they run, and it is very effective in controlling the overall market. This is not, I mean, this is enough to control the thought in the German language media. Truth has a ring to it. When there is somebody saying, stop, there is something strange about this, people will suddenly start thinking, and the entire propaganda falls apart. But if you have a blanket propaganda from all sort of media houses, and they just go under different labels but with the same mindsets, then you have a very powerful tool. The Krone alone cannot achieve this, no matter how you handle it. But he completely drunk suggests that the editors should sit down with him and discuss who should be advanced and promoted and who should be, criticized a bit. So here's the footage.
Sobald das der Fall ist man ganz offen. Damit man ganz offen ist und sagen, so, da gibt es bei uns in der Krone, zack, 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 die drei, vier Leute, die müssen gepusht werden, diese drei, vier Leute, die müssen abserviert werden. Okay, grüner, der ist gut so. Wie viel ist der? Und wir holen gleich mal 5 neue rein im Auftrag. Und das ist.
And then he talks about Strabag, or rather what he wants to do with the money that was previously being invested in that corporation. Now, Strabag is a building company, and it seems that a bulk of state investments are offered to them and are carried out by them. And the media is jumping on what he suggests, namely that the supposed investor is building something like a Strabag, and that all these state investments should, instead of going to Strabag, go to the new company.
Das erste in einer Regierungsbeteiligung, was ich dazu sagen kann, ist, da hat es eine Gewinnaufträge. So, okay, und dann haben wir ein Riesenvolumen von interessanten infrastrukturellen Veränderungen, wenn da eine Qualität da ist und ein qualitativer Anbieter da ist, dann der erste, der dafür sehen wird. Entschuldigung, dann sage ich, dann soll sie nämlich eine Firma wie die Strabag gründen, weil alle staatlichen Aufträge, die Strabag kriegt, sind sie da.
The fact that he believes that there is so much money involved in this Strabag company that would be freed up to go into this newly created beneficiary reveals the magnitude of the corruption that is already going on. And I saw a lot of smugness. People are complaining that the conservatives were pointing to corruption before and, pretended to be the clean ones, and now you are supposedly no longer able to complain about corruption because it turns out that this one single person, plus this other person in the video who is translating to the lady, is now compromising the right in a way that we are no longer allowed to criticize the left. And I want to remind us all that the campaign against Hillary Clinton 2016 was for a big part about immigration, but there was also a second part. It was build the wall, yes, and also lock her up. I never expected her to be locked up, but what it revealed, this campaign and the grassroots part of it, the part that left cannot control through a campaign finance legislature, was this enormous corruption that is going on. And of course, this is, I think, at the very core what the left is about at this point. There is really there are mafia-like structures in place. And I mean it. I think there is actually mafia involved in the political left. This rumor is very old, goes back to John F. Kennedy. Barack Obama is said to have meddled with the mafia, but I have not looked into his case. John F. Kennedy is often said to be almost confirmed. And I would say there are some protagonists in the German Green Party that look a lot like they are big into the mafia. So I will refrain to go into details for A, legal reasons, and B, I don't want to have my head chopped off by non-Muslims. You know, I'm picky. So I'm refraining to speculate too much on this right now, but I insist that we have the right to talk about corruption where we see it. And of course, this means we cannot accept corruption by conservatives, and that we must criticize Mr. Strache and people like him when we see that on our side. But also, we are still free to speak about corruption on their side. That was it for today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.